should we have zero laws?
No, it is a good thing that society has laws.
So,
Yes,
so
it
there must be restrictions on humans. Because look, you might be a good person, right? Another person might not be a good person. You might want.
of bad people.
Yeah, that's it. So then we must have what we call.
Men are all hypocrites.
Thank you, I agree. So we must have what we call a law.
Were you born here?
I'm born in Austria.
Austria. Yeah. And what is your background?
Egyptian and Moroccan, half and half.
Well, I was in Morocco last February. The greatest place I've ever been.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
And
also, Egypt is beautiful.
What?
Also, I'm saying also Egypt is beautiful, yeah?
I have not been to Egypt, but when I was in Morocco last year, I had the time of my life. And I tell you now, one of the great things about Morocco was the freedom I saw.
Oh, okay.
So,
can I say one thing on that? Another subjective term. Someone's freedom can be another person's restrictions. Right. So to me, look, as anyone can use subjective terms, right? We can disagree, we can say this, but in reality, there's still a real reality exists, right? So we need to kind of look at reality. Is there really something which is correct, something which is wrong? In reality, leaving aside human beings and if there is, look, before human beings existed on planet Earth, there was still things that are objectively right or wrong. Would you agree? Just like raping a woman, like I said, for example.
The animal kingdom has some rules.
No, before the animal kingdom as well.
So what was that?
I'm saying if there was no animal kingdom or humans or anything, any life on planet Earth, right? Is it still wrong, the concept of invading yourself on other people or raping a woman, stealing the money for other people, killing innocent people?
It's a very deep conversation.
Now we say as Muslims, what is wrong is always wrong. It does not matter what people here think, right? It's not our understanding. We're not the ones who decide it.
But in religion,
Islam or religions? Always when you generalize, I will tell you.
they all have peculiarities.
Look, someone who read religious scripture is an advocate of not generalizing. Why? When I read other scriptures, I saw that there is great differences between the texts. I cannot apply a general rule to everything.
For how long have you been a very religious man?
Since I was 19, 20,
And
something
your
like
family?
that. My family,
Less so.
some. It depends on the people, yeah?
Your mother and father?
This is just personal questions. I would not like to basically share them in public. Share them in public.
What I'm trying to say...
Some of them are, as I said, some of them are not as much as the others. And that's in every family, by the way, right? That's in every family. So I have people very close in my family that are not, for example, practicing, right? The point is this. Why did I start practicing? That's what you should ask, right? That's the question. I researched. I was born in a family, right, which is a Muslim family, right? That Muslim family gives you some religious book to read, which is called the Quran. They tell you that's from God. When I read that religious scripture, do you know what it tells me? Do not just follow what you're born in. Maybe your ancestors were not guided. Maybe they didn't know. Do not just follow as a blind follower. Research, study. So what I did, I researched Christianity, I researched Hinduism, I look at Sikhism, I look at the major religions, Buddhism, so I can know whether Islam is true as it claims to be true or not.
Why did you suddenly become so interested in all these religions?
The beginning point, the turning point you're asking, I thought about death. One day, which is what people hate to think about.
Well, you're too young to think about death.
Not really. It depends on, look, the mentality of a person or the wisdom of a person is not restricted to his age. That's something I would say, personally, yeah? If someone thinks that, then he did not deal with enough people in his life. I thought about death, yeah? I realized, look, we are humans. We live. Are we going to live forever? No. Okay, what do I want in my life? I want to be president, yeah? Or it's too big, yeah? Let's say I want to be I'm working in a company, I want to be the boss. Okay, I'm the boss, what next? I want to buy a wife, okay. I want to get a wife. I want to buy a car. I want to do this. I want to become the president. What next?
Are you happy?
Of course, 100%.
That's all that matters.
No, I disagree. Because I don't follow because I'm happy. I follow because it's the truth.
If you're happy and you respect others...
Happiness is a consequence of what I follow.
No.
That's what I believe. I'm speaking about me now.
Happiness is a state of mind.
No.
Yes.
Can I tell you something about the Quran, yeah? Quran never mentions happiness in this life fully. Do you know why?
Yes, but
because it's temporary. You're happy for one day, you're upset for the next day. Are you happy? You've been happy all your life, every day?
My life is good.
No, every day, every single day.
Yes.
You've never been upset in your life.
Well,
Let's be honest with ourselves. Like it's
only
temporary.
Very few days in my whole life.
Okay,
have I
but
not
it's
been
temporary. That proves temporary.
No, because if you think about it, it is the chemical balance in your mind.
So can I rape someone because I'm happy? Okay, so the right and wrong is the key point. It's not just what makes me happy. Okay, some people, you would agree with me, are pedophiles and they believe they're happy if they have an intercourse. Who told you they don't? They go, some people of them, they go, they rape. Look, the point...
You don't know a paedophile, so you don't really
No, we're looking at the books of psychology, the psychological disorders, what people say when they have a case with a pedophile, they discuss with him, the questions and the answers he gives. What he says on himself is what he says, right? Do you think it's a problem? Some of them are asked, do you think it's a problem?
They say no problem.
They say no, yeah.
But
So if they want...
What
yeah.
is important is you are happy here and you respect others.
Okay, now you add a little bit.
No,
That's
so
what,
that-
yeah,
that's what- that is
yeah.
the two
So
things
that's what
that
I'm
matter.
so that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I can restrict my happiness if my happiness tells me to do something wrong. You agree?
Your happiness tells you.
Something makes me happy, but it's wrong. Should I do it or should I leave my happiness because it's wrong? That is the turning point, right? That's the turning point. You might want to do things yourself, but you're restricted by law or restricted by knowing it's something wrong, right?
It doesn't mean it's going to make you happy.
No, you believe it makes you happy. When you do it, you're happy. There's many things that people do.
Then you find that if it's not right, then you
No.
do find another way of making yourself happy.
Thank you. So you restrict that thing. That's what I'm trying to say. So in Islam, that's the whole point. Yes, happiness is okay, no problem. We're not against it. But there is restrictions. When it comes to the moral code that is divine, that comes from the Creator, not from you, with evidences.
But men aren't moral.
Sorry?
Men aren't moral.
Again, another generalization. I disagree.
So true.
I disagree. How did you live with every human being, every man in your life to know?
But I know men. And I know
No, you
men
just
are
said
much-
all men. Men are.
Okay, but
Yeah.
90% of men are not moral.
Look, the Quran says majority of the people are not good. So I'm not disagreeing with you.
So if you
But
take-
there is moral percentage, and the Quran only asks you to be as good as you can.
if you look at
But do you just the important point I wanted to ask? Sorry, do you actually believe in a creator? Do you believe there is some entity that created the universe, not just a man sitting on a chair?
evolution.
Okay, evolution is about humans. It doesn't deal with the even Richard Dawkins says, laymen think evolution undermine God, but evolution does not undermine God. Why?
Evolution is about
Can you define evolution for me?
evolution is the creation and the movement of the.
Who defines
of
it?
the-
Who defines evolution like that?
Well, if you
Which scientist on the planet Earth defines evolution like that?
if you take,
You know, I'm willing to say I don't know anything about science if you give me that
no, no,
definition.
if you take
Yeah.
the coronavirus, for example,
Okay.
the mutations are an evolving.
No,
part of
no
an evolving-
still, I define evolution as the people who actually, by the way, Darwinian evolution. Because the term evolution, you can use it, you can use it subjectively, and you can use it specifically about Darwinian evolution.
If you take human race, we're all different colours, yes.
Okay.
We've evolved to be different colours.
Yeah, what you're saying is still within the definition. Definition, I'm saying evolution is the single cell organism that evolved to becoming humans and animals and all of that. That's fine. I'm talking about the universe now. When there was no humans, no, where's the evidence for that?
If you just think
There's no
about-
mutations and cells mutating. The whole theory is based on biology. It's a biological theory. Now we're referring to the cosmology. That's a completely different field. Physics.
Evolving.
Sorry?
The universe is evolving all the time.
With the general word, not Darwinianly evolving. Evolving with the word that be changing. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm saying, where did it come from? It has a beginning. Where did the energy, matter, and space come from? Right? Who started
knows
that?
that answer.
No. You're saying nobody knows. We say we know.
So you think it's God?
I'll tell you, it's not what I think. You would look. Let's take a rational basis. This bike. Who made this bike requires a few things. A, this plastic requires iron, right? Requires certain things. Otherwise, he would not be able to make the bike. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. The creator of the universe also requires not to be restricted by time and space, because time and space continues started the universe. That's why we cannot understand what was before the Big Bang, because we're restricted by time and space. Two, it needs a magnificent energy to create these atoms, that each atom has a magnificent, okay. It requires also some sort of knowledge to have all of these laws and constants in the world. And it has to be independent of what it created. So something independent, not restricted by time and space, knowledgeable and powerful in a way we cannot imagine. What is that? I will let you tell me. What is that?
I don't know how we evolved, but I just, you know...
No, not what you evolve. I'm talking about the universe. Okay, no, you don't want to... Look, be honest with me. What is your problem with believing in a creator? Because look, I find it with people, it's not rationality. Because when we have rational arguments which are clear, no one can argue with...
Yes. I find, for the same reason you think I'm irrational, but don't mean...
I don't think you're irrational. I think you are rejecting it for a reason. No. You have a reason.
Look, we are brought up differently, yes? So
not about bringing up. I didn't bring I was born so you should believe it. I didn't say that.
I'm saying that is you are a product of your family or parents.
Well, I was born in a country more secular than the UK. I went to school there as well. So look, assuming look, from a very young age, if you live in a country like this or a secular country, you come across other people of different faith and different things. You start questioning from a very young age. Is what you're upon right or wrong? Why are these people different? So don't compare me to just someone who's just... It's not a fair comparison, yeah? Yeah. What is the difference between me being brought up in Austria and you being brought up here? Give me one difference.
I don't know. No,
okay. So there's no difference in bringing up.
What I'm saying is, if you have a religious background, or even a non-religious background, it's the seeds of your non-religion or religion do come from your family.
If my argument was based on a subjective outcome of my family, you would be able to give me a rational answer to it. Any atheist I come across would also be able, which no one have, any atheist would be able also to give me answers for the questions I'm asking. Can you create something that requires power without power? No. Can you create something that requires knowledge without knowledge?
You're taking your belief from a book.
Sorry? Did I use any verse of the Quran supporting God so far? Sorry? No. I didn't use any verse of the Quran yet. No, I only use the rational reasoning, looking at the universe, coming to conclusions. Now what you're doing now, with all due respect, is ad hominem. You're attacking my person rather than dealing with the argument. You're saying subjective.
Yeah. Look, the difference between somebody that is religious and somebody who's non-religious is as different as somebody voting Conservative and somebody voting for Labour.
I disagreed with that.
Yes, it's true, because...
It's a claim.
I'm a Conservative voter. Nobody on this earth would ever get me to change for a Labour Party. And I voted to leave...
Is that an open-minded thing to say?
No, it begins with the principles of my belief in...
Do you see how you're biased towards what you believe?
No, we all have bias.
I'm not.
Of course we do.
If you say, I'll give you a challenge, and this is a challenge to anyone who comes here, and I make this challenge repeatedly. Islam makes claims, yeah? The Quran has challenges. If you disprove a challenge, I'll leave Islam the next day. Why? I'll tell you why. That's a claim now. I'll tell you why. The Quran says, for example, if this was from other than Allah, you will find in it much contradiction. If someone brought to me a clear-cut contradiction, do you know what I'm going to say? The book says it's not from God because it says if there's a contradiction, it's not from God. Why would I believe something that it says it's not from God? Now look, now how long have we been talking so far?
20 minutes, half an hour. Well, I can see.
Could you? No. Let me finish. You know what I'm gonna say. You know someone for 30 minutes. You're judging how they perceive religion.
I can take a look from you.
This is what I call personally preconceived notion of individuals. Now, and this is the societal influence on you as a person. It's not me that is influenced by my family. You personally influenced with the Western society personally.
My lack of belief in a God, it comes from my early years. My politics comes from the way I lead my life and the way I,
Your society?
Society, and I believe...
I'm not taking from society.
Not what?
Because I'm not taking my beliefs from society because they can be right, I can be wrong. And there is different societies, different beliefs. No, I'm taking it from divine revelation. I have evidence as divine revelation. Okay, let me ask you this. Are we restricted by the laws in the universe?
I don't know what the laws of the universe are.
Laws of physics, laws of gravity, laws of physics.
I know what the laws of the United Kingdom. Well, I don't know much about physics, but I do know.
Can you fly now?
I can't. I wish I
Okay,
could.
so we are restricted now, right now,
I
fly.
wish I could.
Okay, so we are restricted by. This is a simple thing. I don't know why people sometimes do this. It's a simple thing. We are restricted by the laws in
But
the
your
universe.
conversation is very typical of somebody who has a very strong passion for religion.
I challenge you to find someone that said the exact thing I said.
يا دعاة رب السماء يا من صنعتم في الأرض نورا يا قلوبا فيها الوفاء بشركم اليوم السرور